This is the Rapacious Wheel. This is a statue that we should actually move in a little bit. This is actually a statue that we designed based on the art of artist Robert Williams, a fine artist. He actually started out in the 70s in underground comics. He's one of the founders of Zap Comics, an underground comic label. He quickly established himself as an underground comic book hero who evolved into a comic book legend. And he's actually a very close friend of us here at the studio. We've done work with him before, taking some of his 2D art and rendering it in 3D. The Rapacious Wheel is just the latest effort in that, and we wanted to display it here because we're actually partnering with Juxtaposed Magazine, a fine arts magazine. They're our co-sponsor this year at the show, and they are amazingly, incredibly popular and well-known. And Robert, of course, is an incredibly famous artist. If you haven't heard of him, check him out, because he actually, believe it or not, he designed the album cover, the original album cover for Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. And that's not the album cover that you see today, which is the black cross with the 5 skull heads.
From the inside of the booklet, right?
That's with the robot. Yep. He's actually the artist behind that. And his original cover art was so controversial they had to take it off the cover. But he's got that kind of dirt, that kind of grit, that kind of visceral, in-your-face style that just goes out and challenges you and designed to make you uncomfortable. And we love that. You know, we love that kind of art, that kind of raw, in-your-face, that kind of art. And we actually do have, there are different divisions of the company, of course. Most of you guys are familiar with LTD, the collectibles division. This is actually more out of our fabrication division. You may have heard of it referred to before as rapid prototyping. Rapid prototyping, that's one of the services they offer. But they will take somebody's vision and fabricate it as such. I mean, we've got some incredibly masterful artisans that do all the work there. And the Rapacious Wheel is just one of the many pieces. And then, of course, we actually have celebrating Robert this year because he just had he had a documentary out about his work called Mr. Bitchin', about his work in the underground comic scene and how it evolved into fine art. We have the DVDs available of that documentary here, along with a Mr. Bitchin' bust. And if you buy the bust, you also get a 18 by 24 Gliese print of a painting of his called "Creation Trumps Creator." And as a creative artist myself, in my time outside of working for Gentle Giant, I am involved in a lot of artistic pursuits. The idea of I think the idea of my creation rising up to destroy me, a la Frankenstein, is always one of those things you got to be worried about. But it kind of tickles my senses a little bit seeing something like that, and the fact that he just kind of captures it so vividly and viscerally. Where the painting is right over here, you guys should get a picture of it. But it's an artist reeling back as the canvas he's painting on comes to life and attacks him. And I'm like, that is so flippin' cool. Terrifying, but awesome. So let's go ahead and go around this way. A full-scale Iron Patriot statue. I mean, this thing is flippin' cool. And this one also is light up. It's a deluxe piece, so it will light up. See the arc reactor in the chest. I mean, it's gorgeous. Anybody who's a fan of, Iron Man or anything of that ilk, this is for you guys. I'm personally more of a fan of like the Norman Osborn Dark Avengers, the comic book, but I thought what they did in the movie with the suit was pretty awesome. I really did enjoy that. So, yeah. We have our Honey Trap girls. Now, we don't have any new girls on display yet. I can confirm we're already working on more, but because we're just now getting the line out, we wanted to bring back the original 5, refresh everybody's memory, and we had talked about there's a lot of media opportunities here since it's our own original license and our own original concept. There's a lot of stuff in development. I think a lot of the people that we were talking to last year, they wanted to be like, well, will it sell? So we kind of said, well, we're going to put the girls out and then see where it goes from there. So obviously we're starting out with Whisper. Now, Whisper actually, this is an incredibly dynamic piece. This isn't just a hunk of polystone like other statues like this that we've put out. This is, it's not just one solid piece of polystone. Those flippers are not attached to the base. You can display them however you want. They're real and rubberized. What I think a lot of people are going like, these are just like the Sucker Punch statues. Why? We hear you guys complaining about like, why the price jump? Why this? Why that? Well, the difference is that we've gone all out on making these things as unique and amazing, as detailed as possible. We really want to step up our game here with these because this is an original thing for us. We don't have to do anything to anybody else's specification, and we don't have to deal with the licenses and their restrictions. So we're going all out and making sure that we're doing something absolutely incredible. This is an incredibly mixed media piece. This is actually using real hose, real rubber, real string, not just the polystone. I mean, and the amount of detail and time and effort it takes in the assembly, the paint detail that you see all over here, you know, this is, I mean, you look at the rebreather right there. It's actually almost Navy SEAL spec, the rebreathing tank that she's got. You know, it's actually real rubberized and use real metal and pieces like that. It's not all sculpted as one piece. The goggles you can move up and down, and they're not just plastic. I mean, they're rubberized. I mean, like they're almost like miniature swim goggles, basically.
Was it difficult to find a manufacturer that could do this?
We molded it all ourselves. Our guys, that's the other thing, is we molded it completely ourselves. We got some master sculptors that work in all kinds of mediums with all kinds of materials. So, I mean, honestly, it took one of our top guys almost a year to design, to sculpt out one of these by himself. And part of the thing is that when we actually do these original prototypes, we don't design them, we design them to make sure we're getting the look that we want. We don't design them so they can be replicated easily. And that's a huge challenge that we face because he built something that was so incredibly detailed and complex that when it actually came time to be like, how can we mass produce this? We had to almost redesign it from scratch because of just, we have to be able to do it so it can be assembled easily and transport easily and everything else. And with the way he did it originally, that wasn't going to be the case. We actually have a real striker knife that actually is removable from the sheath on her thigh. It's actually an authentic rescaled striker knife. It's a big deal to have that, you know, and it's actually a brand name that wanted to get associated with us because they saw the concepts and they were like, that's flipping awesome. So they signed on board, and now we're actually going to be integrating that kind of stuff into our statues. So that is our booth for this year. You know, not as many new pieces as years previous, but what I'm hoping that people are actually seeing is that we're getting more ambitious, not just in the quantity, but in the quality. You may see a few less pieces as before, but I hope you see that we're raising our game and really trying to get more detail. You're trying to get more for your money. You're seeing a lot of pieces that are deluxe pieces that come with lots of different accessories and things like that, so you can truly display it uniquely however you want. Like our deluxe Boba Fett. You know, we want to focus quality more than quantity these days. You know, that's not to say that we don't have a lot coming out, because believe me, we do. But I hope that you're going to see a lot more. You're going to be getting more for your money.